Hello and welcome to the conversation on NTA International. There are a lot of people who feel that for them to feel comfortable, feel good with themselves, they have to talk than other people or make them feel less of a person. Today on the conversation, we will be talking about bullying. Yes, bullying at different levels. Let's first of all get to meet all the wonderful people in the studio. By the way, my name is Rita. Welcome to the show. We're a bit gender sensitive. Don't look at me, Chuks.
This is bullying. This is bullying. See the bullying now.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Chukuma Ohaka. Thank you.
Am I next?
Yeah, you next.
Hi, I'm Zainab, aka Z. No, I had to clarify it today for some people.
Hi, my name is Enobong Robin, and I'm here to call out some bullies I know.
The name is Devan, Mom, and it's good to be back.
I love your hair, Devon.
Thank you. Thank you. I needed to hear that from someone.
Oh, my
But
word.
I've been looking at it.
This
I
is
just
the
didn't want to
first
say
time I've
anything.
done anything really crazy with
It's,
my hair.
it's nice. It's really
Rita, have you seen
beautiful.
the way I'm looking at you?
Did
get
anybody
there.
bully you for this redness?
No.
I know
We'll get
the
there,
elderly
don't
people
worry.
say, "Oh my God, why
Yeah,
did you
in
color
the
your hair
village they
red?
will.
It's very irresponsible."
In the village, they will.
Good
for
thing
sure.
you have started, Z. Now,
What?
let's even look at what we think bullying is. People have different understanding of what bullying
Exactly.
is, you know. Is it when you talk down at somebody, when you beat them, or when you just generally ignore them? What do you consider to be bullying?
For me, it's anything verbally or physically that will demoralize somebody or make somebody feel less of what they are. And a lot of people do this whole bullying thing when they're insecure about themselves, when they have issues with how they are or what is surrounding them. They tend to lash out to other people. So like I said about her hair, I know I do weird colors. And the first thing I get is, "How old are you? Do you think you're still a child?" And I'm like, you can't bully me. That's number one. You cannot, even if you try your hardest, you can't bully. I have an answer for everything. So when they're like, "Do you think you're 21? Sorry, you got it wrong. I'm 16. Don't be trying to increase the age over here." And there's no age to how fabulous you can be. You can be fabulous at 98. You can be fabulous at 2. It all depends on how you feel. And I don't feel anybody should come along and make you feel bad for your decisions. The minute you take the step to make whatever decision it is pertaining to your life, your choices, nobody has the right to make you feel bad about it. So when you do that, that's bullying. Anybody that makes you feel bad about your choice, that is bullying.
D?
I agree with everything you both said. There's only so many definitions you could give it.
Yeah.
If I were to add anything at all, I'd say that it's like it's the wrong and overt use of power.
Okay.
Yeah, because the person who is doing the bullying always places themselves in a place of authority over the
Over the
person
person.
that they are trying to bully.
Yeah.
Even if that is not the case, they could be mates, but this person tries to make the other person feel smaller than they, the bully, are. So they try to place themselves in a place of authority over the person they are trying to reduce
And
or demean.
interestingly, it starts from schools, right? Even from home, from
Let's
you
say
know,
let's say
from home,
from home.
I think
know.
it's, yeah, your exposure. I had an experience some weeks ago where I had my students, the older ones, were supposed to do a presentation to the younger ones on bullying. And I'm in class trying to get the presentation together. And one of the students was like, "Miss Anna, why are we doing this? It's baseless, it's useless. Everybody gets bullied. I have been bullied. I grew up, and that is all. Just tell those kids to grow up. That's all." I was shocked.
What age? What age?
This particular student is 14.
Okay,
And
teenagers,
was supposed to go and
preteens.
tell the 9-year-olds about bullying. So he's like, tell them to grow up. I
That's
can't,
a sign
I
that
can't
that's what
waste
they're
my
being
time.
told at home.
I said,
Because if you go to your parents and you tell your parents, "Mommy, somebody's bullying me," or "Daddy, somebody's bullying me," and your parents tell you, "It's all part of growing up, just suck it up."
no, it's not right. It's
But
not
some parents, that's what
proper.
they do. Your parents
This
bully
boy
you.
was
Parents
very-
bully you.
Yeah, parents are
And
the
parents
first.
bully you.
Chukwu, do you bully your kids?
Parents are the first batch of bullies.
Yeah, I'm
in
telling
my
you, they
thinking.
do. I read a message on Instagram. A child, his mother was calling him stupid. And he had to write a letter to his mother and say, Mommy, please stop calling me stupid. I know maybe I misbehaved. I know I've done some things wrong.
Was that in
don't
Nigeria?
Yes, sir. The father said, Mommy, please stop calling me stupid. It makes me feel bad. And eventually I will grow up thinking that I am stupid.
But when I was told, when I got to know that we're going to discuss about bullying, I told my children I have to. I told them I'm going to discuss the two of you in a live camera. Everybody started laughing. I told my daughter, you bully your brother. I told my son, you bully your sister. It happens everywhere. Now, whether it's in the school, in the office, political, wherever, it happens everywhere. But the most important is, are we taking note of what it is doing to the society? Are we taking note of what it is doing in the house? I was bullied by my elder brother to the point that I couldn't even come out to speak when he is with my mates. And that had a very big crack in our relationship. We tried to amend after we've all grown, but it's very difficult. And I tried to speak to my children about it. I tried to tell them, the two of you should bond. The two of you should be the best. The two of you should be your best of friends. Sometimes I could say as long as 1 month without speaking to my elder brother. It's not good, it's not fine. But it's as a result of what happened. So it happens at home. You know, most times when we speak about bullying, we think it's one stranger doing something to another stranger. It happens from home. Now, sometimes you see that even among peers and among relatives, rather, you see someone not allowing the other person come to dress or take something that he would have allowed their friend, who is the age mate of the sister, to do.
Okay.
Domestic violence, also known as domestic abuse, battering, or family violence, is a pattern of behavior which involves violence or other forms of abuse by a person against another in a domestic setting, such as in a marriage, cohabitation, or general family setting. It ranges from physical, verbal, economic, religious, emotional, reproductive, and sexual abuse. Sometimes it appears subtle or coercive, but it is still abuse. Domestic violence occurs when the abuser believes that the abuse is acceptable, justified, or unlikely to be reported. It usually produces intergenerational cycles of abuse in children and other family members who may feel such violence is acceptable or condoned. Statistics show that globally, the victims of domestic violence are mostly women and that it is steadily on the increase. Research has established a direct and significant correlation between a country's level of gender equality and the rates of domestic violence. Unfortunately, it is the most underrated crime, even though it is fast on the increase, leading to lots of hurts, harm, and even loss of lives.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take his pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start off the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh, you know.
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys. They're not ready to marry.
Yes. If she wants to ask something, no, I know my mother very well. In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, you know, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture. There was a day I got tired of all that and I said,
Welcome back. We hope you learned a thing or two from that particular discussion. We're going to take it back home, everybody. When it comes to children growing up and what we as elders or parents say to them, or what the interaction between siblings are, and how those who should know better influence this conversation, what role are we really playing in terms of...
How do you figure they should know better?
That's why I put that in parentheses.
A lot of us
should
don't know better because how our parents brought us up is what we know. Just because you're a parent doesn't mean you know.
I agree.
Exactly.
I can tell you a lot of parents get it wrong 90% of the time, but because they don't know any better, they just...
It's a tradition. That's what their parents taught them.
To just
shout and talk down.
I refuse to agree with the African thing.
It's an African thing, man. It's an African thing.
It's everywhere.
It's
everywhere.
It's everywhere.
No.
Bullies are in America, bullies are in the UK.
I'm not saying bullies are not. I'm saying the parenting in Nigeria, the way our parents talk to us, raise us, it's an African thing. The way the Obodo Oyibo people handle their children. Oh, little Sam.
See, you'll be shocked.
What do you mean?
I disagree.
Let me bring the accent back to Nigeria. I don't be shocked.
Let me explain from their parents. See, you may not be fully Nigerian. You've had experience. You've schooled abroad. You have all those experiences. But I deal with international community where I deal with students and parents. And I will tell you for a fact, if you see a child who bullies another child, check the parents out. The parent is bullying the staff, parent is bullying the child and stuff. So it's not necessarily Nigerian upbringing.
I'm saying the way, where is home? Is home not Nigeria? The way our parents talk to us in Africa is different than how parents in the Western world talk or deal with their kids. Over there, from the age of 2, you're taught that 911. From here, if you like, call 255.
The police go join beat you,
the police go join beat you.
Let me step into this. That Western society is producing the kind of bullies that are bullying their
parents. Yeah,
they're producing bullies that are bullying their peers into suicide.
Yes,
that is the level of bullying, the kind of bullying that they produce, despite all the little Sam, blah blah. So I don't know where it's coming from, but I want to tell you that they have not perfected parenting either. So we have different approaches. The African or the Nigerian, I cannot speak African. Let me restrict myself to Nigeria, which is what I know. Yeah. The Nigerian context of parenting is authoritarian.
Good.
It is not diplomatic. And it stems from our cultures, our customs, our traditions. I cannot for the life of me my parents are dead, but when they were alive, I cannot wake up and tell my dad, hi. How? What? When? Why? How? It's good morning, daddy.
Funny thing is,
complete with genuflection.
Miguel.
Yes, you understand? And nothing less than that was acceptable. And if I was not really, really ill, if any of my parents came home, it was standard practice. Even if you had been scolded from up rich ground, to go out and welcome them.
Then
you receive the bag, take it inside the room or the upstairs or wherever, and make sure they're comfortably whatever, and all that.
Slavery?
No, it's not slavery. It's not slavery. It gives you a sense of responsibility and duty.
It's not slavery.
Now, when that parent puts themselves... Now, there are parents who are brutal. That's different. From tongue lashing, you're constantly making that child feel small. You are stupid. You are useless. You will never amount to anything. That's not what I'm talking about. Or is it, I know of a lady whose father beat her so bad, today she's epileptic.
Oh my God.
Because he's this kind of person who will beat you and slam your head in the wall. For what? Broken cup, broken plate. That's not what I'm talking about. The man probably had mental issues.
Yeah.
But I am saying that the Nigerian parenting style, which is a little authoritarian, depending on how it's used, is actually a plus.
Yeah, you
If
have to
go
draw the
overboard,
line
yes, you
in
have
the
to
right
draw the
place.
line. It shouldn't be a place where you are so up there that your children cannot approach you.
No.
It's wrong.
No.
You shouldn't be at that place where you are so draconian that the minute they hear your car driving in,
They
they
are
want to
already
pretend
going
they
to
are
hide.
asleep.
No.
That's not what I'm talking about. Because the way I see it, either extreme is bad. Being too lenient and too,
course.
oh, I am my child's
So,
friend,
in other words,
can be
that
as bad
balance
as
should be a friend
I'm
and a
soldier in
parent.
the house.
Balancing it-
Balancing
You have
it
to
then
find a way
can
to balance
help,
it.
a child's self-esteem so much
Yes.
that if they are bullied outside, they can actually report that incident. Because
Exactly.
many times it's when they don't talk about it that it becomes a ripple around. I'm going to tell you all a story.
Okay.
My boy, when he was in primary school, it was the time he kept saying, "Mommy, I want to do my birthday in school." Now, he's an August baby, so his birthday is permanently on holidays.
Holiday.
Ouch.
But he kept saying, "I want to do my birthday in school." So one day I sat him down, why must you? It is not your birthday yet. Why would you want to? Because my teacher said I don't do birthday in school. I'm always collecting people's party pack. I said, "Eh?
What?
No, that wasn't nice.
Do you get that?" So it got to him to the point where he wanted to make me do something
Just
that was,
so
do you understand?
prove the
So I
teacher
had to go
wrong.
to the school and tell, I think it was a PTA meeting. And the interesting thing was when I raised this issue up, other parents were like, "Hey, it doesn't matter now. You can just give him some things to take to school before." I said, "What?"
This is how people also think.
So it's a case of these things happen. We are beginning to see it as normal, and we accommodate it to the state where you now have children who would go out of their way to do things just to feel a part of, even when it's not necessary in
I mean,
some cases.
personally, I've had my own bullying experience, all right?
Who haven't?
Yes, I was really bullied.
I wasn't bullied in
I
school.
was really bullied.
You were
I was
bullied
bullied in
people.
my grown age.
Were you bullying people in school?
Let me tell you my
Say
story
the
on
truth.
how I stood up for myself. all
Yeah,
right?
let's
in nursery
hear
school,
it.
I can remember, I don't make friends easily, and I've always been that way. Even with my siblings, I'm not their best of friends. I've always been myself because everybody thinks I'm weird. I just think ahead. So you do something like, you shouldn't be doing this. They're like, but you're still young, so why do you think like that? And then I had this girl, I didn't have an eraser at one time, so she was a fancy student. So I went and took her eraser to use. And she was looking
you
for
ask
it.
permission?
Who's fancy student?
When I say fancy, she was traveling abroad then. She was really
Ajabota.
fancy. Yeah, she was living in a fine house. And I was doing, and I was coloring, and I was doing my thing. So she was asking, but because I was engrossed in what I was doing, I didn't hear her. The slap this girl gave me.
No
It's
way.
not called slap, please. She gave you whoozing.
I'm serious. This girl slapped me so bad. I was in kindergarten. I can remember this.
You were both in kindergarten.
Yeah, she was like, this girl slapped me so bad that from that day, I never made any friend till like grade 5 in nursery school. When I see anybody, I'm sorry, I can't be offended. I don't want to be slapped. And I did not stand up for myself.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything. I didn't report to my mother. If she ever watches them, this is the first time she's going to hear it. I never told anybody. I stayed with the shame. I didn't make friends. I wasn't close to anybody. I wasn't close to my siblings. I don't want anybody slapping me or telling me how I'm not
It gave you
coming
that
first in
phobia.
school. But in secondary school, in my JS1, the same thing happened. This group of, I went to a very, not so fancy, but a little bit fancy with girls and all their attitude, you know, and something happened. Then she slapped me. I was like, okay, you know what, this is the end of this slapping. So, I thought of what I was going to do. Should I report to somebody? Will anybody understand that this has happened before and it shouldn't happen? And I was like, you know what, you're not born. No, you need to stand up for yourself. So one day, we are handing out test scripts. So the student who was reading the test script, she's in front of the class and she was calling names. And I collected my own before the girl. And she went and collected her. She was coming, I stood on the desk. As she was approaching me, the slap I gave to her ended me in the principal's office. It was that, but I
Years
slapped
of-
her with all my heart. But
Nursery
she's like,
school, nursery
you
school,
did
nursery
not
school.
pay. I gave it to her, and
Nursery school
I felt
vengeance.
good. So even when they reported me to my parents and all that, they did not understand the reason for my behavior. They thought I was just being arrogant and stuff.
Or being a
But that was
bully.
the last time I ever did anything like that to somebody, because I felt bad, but I felt
Relieved.
so
So,
relieved,
about
like.
it.
So yes, some students are actually,
people at
some
the story.
children are bottling up stuff. Even adults, your
Yeah,
office, someone has done something to you. With us girls, like maybe girl and girl, you would think it's funny, but you're touching my breast or touching my boobs. People do it. Don't do these things to me.
I don't like it
And
either.
you can, maybe if you go and report to HR, you say, oh, she's a girl now.
but Ini, since
It's not okay.
since you've taken us to the office, let's talk about workplace bullying. That's
not okay.
happening every day, everywhere, and sometimes people just try to ignore it. And it doesn't matter whether it's public. I mean, you're working in the government sector or it's private. It happens every day.
happens.
I had a GM who bullied me, right in NTA. Of course, I'm not going to mention his name, but it got so bad that people were calling me and like, if he asked you for something, don't you think you should give it to him? I said, well, that's the whole point. He didn't ask me for anything. So I don't know why he's carrying on like this, The man would just make random stories up and say, I did. I like back then when you had duty continuity announcing, you'd be in the office till all hours, way past midnight, 2, 3 a.m. on weekends and so on and so forth. And in the studio at the time, we had this landline, and from time to time he would call. So I remember on one particular occasion he called, I attended to him, and he asked me to call somebody for him. It was in the daytime. And I went looking for this person, and somebody else came in, saw I've forgotten what it's called now,
Handset,
yes.
receiver,
You saw the receiver sitting on the table and just
slammed it.
placed it down without even bothering to find out if there was anybody. And this man drove to when I went back, I saw the line had been replaced. I didn't know how to call him back and everything. I said, well, I don't know who did this, but sir, it was GM that called, so if you know how to get back to him, please do. He was the one on the line, and I was looking for you. Somebody came and I left. I closed. I was done for the day. I left. I later heard that he drove to the office, shaking with anger.
Yeah.
That not only did I pick up the phone and insult him, when I was done, I banged the phone. And this was just one in a series of incidents that went as far as him saying over his dead body for me to get, a certain, to get to a certain stage within the system.
We need to wear our investigative hat.
And this person was male. It wasn't even a female that you say, okay, maybe you wore one really expensive perfume, so she got jealous.
Is this person still in NTA?
No, he's not even alive anymore.
But she had,
But it was that bad.
given the caveat. She didn't want to mention them. So why are you guys trying to bully us to that now?
Well, it's normal to get curious,
You can't give us half-baked gist.
Yeah, but it
We're trying
was
to get the full
at the time it was quite a
and
bit of
right
an
now.
issue. So my colleagues from back then will know who I'm referring to, and that's all that. It was so bad that this was as I was finishing NYSC and just got a job. That I went back home. I told my dad. I said, "See, throughout primary, secondary, university, you never had me have any issues in school and all that, but I'm about to have an issue in the office because the next time this man comes at me with lies, I am going to insult him. I will insult him with all the frustration I'm feeling, and you'll hear that I got sacked." So I don't want you to get surprised and be like, no, my daughter doesn't do that. Your daughter is about to do it.
You're on notice.
I said, just know that if you hear that I really insulted somebody, it's true.
So that's somebody really coming out right at you. You have some that is subtle, know.
Yeah.
They don't make it known
They
that
make it strange
after
like
this
your
person,
eyebrow is not.
It's not even about dress and everything. It's about males.
What?
There's some kind of males they'll say.
Males, okay.
Back in the day when I used to work in the
that shit is
US,
crazy.
I was still going to school and I was working. And my manager was this white LGBT person. And
They'll finish you. They'll finish you.
No, they didn't actually. So every time I would come to work, even if I'm like a minute late, which you have a grace period of like 5 minutes. If I'm a minute late, I would get like written up. Just for like a minute.
That's a query. You get a query.
But that's
Yeah.
really
Well, it's... I guess
So
it has
they
to do
recorded
with
against you.
Yeah. So it had like every slight thing I would do, it would be an issue. Maybe today I was working at a phone store. If I don't sell the same amount or more phones than my colleagues, it was a problem. If I come in 1 minute late, it was a problem. To the point, like, he sent a message to HR, and I had to come in for this whole meeting.
Wow.
And me, I'm the kind of person that you can't, don't, if you lie on me, right there and then I will call you out on your, I'm not holding my tongue. You're not about to use me to shine. No, sorry, it's not that type of a party. So I get to work and they're like, oh, you have a meeting with HR. I'm like, for what? What did I do?
That's never good news.
I was like, okay, no problem. I just walked myself in, went, sat down. You've been late, this. I said, excuse me. I said, can you look at the time that I was late? How many minutes was I late? 1 minute, 1 minute, 2 minutes. I said, is that not part of the grace period? Well, I'm not sure why he would write this letter. I said, well, before you guys took a journey all the way down to this office, did you sit down to investigate? Or is it because I'm black? He's white.
Well,
Play the black card.
The black card is sweet, oh. Hey. I said, is it because I'm black and he's white? What is it? I said, he doesn't like me. Let me tell you guys the facts now. He doesn't like me for no apparent reason. I've never done anything wrong to him. He doesn't do this to any of the other white people in this place. He only does it to me. So now the guy said that he can't work with me. So I had to be moved from that office to another branch. And even that, he still tried to bully me from...
Oh, wow.
That's how I left.
You know the issue, sorry, the issue of bullying in the workplace cut across both the junior, the senior,
Yes.
the sex, the male folks and the female folks. It cuts across everywhere. But the most important thing is, what gain do you have bullying the other?
I don't know what he gained, but I made sure when I stopped the job, I quit. Because I was moving to another job. I made sure I went back to that office. And I made sure I abused him.
No,
I told him about his whole life.
It doesn't make sense.
Because at that point, you're not my manager. You're not my manager.
You're bringing yourself to his level.
Anything you want to say, at that very moment, it felt amazing. It felt like you had given me the Nobel Peace Prize.
well, you see, the thing is, we handle different things in different ways. And as we're talking about all this, there's something you both said, which is so true. Many people lash out in frustration because of the unhappiness they're carrying around.
Yes.
And it helps them, okay.
Yes. 9 out of 10 times you investigate a bully, you'll discover that they're coming from a deeply unhappy place. It's not because everything is so rosy with me, so I'm going to... Most of the time, there's something grievously wrong. Of course, you have that person who is just abusing power. I can do this to you and get away with it, so I'm going to do it and get away with it. But ordinarily, especially when it's among peers, if you're able to take time off and call that bully to the side and talk to them, if it's a married woman, maybe her marriage is in trouble, maybe her kids are sick. If it's not somebody who is married, maybe they themselves, it could be a situation of illness.
Complex
but I'm telling you, that
sometimes.
feeling of, oh, you bullied me and I got back to you. See, I did not play. I made sure... I even went to like a human rights law firm and I filed a lawsuit against... I was like, no.
No, I'm not even trying to excuse
me.
this guy.
Hey,
Like,
you can't win the battle.
I think he was just abusing power.
He was abusing power.
I think that was his own thing.
I say, I'll tell anybody, you're fighting me, you cannot win.
Chooks, when it comes to pay in the office, you know, I said there's extreme cases of, you know, there is power. Some is just subtle. You're looking at somebody and saying this person is short. This short person.
Every time you see his
black person.
You
this fat. You know, use phrases that make this person uncomfortable.
No, but I don't do it for guilt.
It's actually not right.
I don't do it for guilt. It's my friend. I usually yab him when I just come around him. I just
Is it
say,
one person or everybody?
No, one person.
That's bullying.
I've been in an office where let me say an MD, but that's not the actual position because I don't want to see the exact position, comes to a lady to lady and goes, you need to do something about your dressing. You know
Well,
what
there
I'm
could be a
saying?
reason.
It's
Is it
the
usual?
manner, it's the manner in which you actually make that statement.
But if the person
If you-
is
if you
not
don't
dressing
It's not
properly,
what you say.
Exactly,
It's how you say it.
but there's no
but
better way to
that's-
say a very wrong way of dressing. If you walk in
No,
a
there is.
Sorry, please. If you walk in an office and you know that your
No.
dressing
There's a
might be
certain dress
abusive
etiquette.
No,
to
it's not an
others, you
etiquette thing.
apply it.
That is why it's not a matter of etiquette thing.
Even
It's
if it's a
a
dress
matter
etiquette,
of you
there's
don't
a way
look
you
posh enough,
speak to
sort of.
somebody.
Do you understand? If you get to an office and maybe you didn't know there's an etiquette about dressing, and somebody realizes, can I speak with you? In this office, you're not supposed to. In my church, for instance, yeah, I belong to a unit. They don't tell you don't wear this or don't wear that. You can wear whatever you like. But if you serve in a certain position, you are expected to dress in a certain way. You can't wear trousers, for instance. But no, really, you can wear trousers to my church. Do you get? But if you're serving in a certain position, you are not expected to dress that way. So on a particular day, I didn't realize. I wore trousers to church that day. I was going to serve, and my coordinator comes and says, Rita, you look so nice today. I'm like, thank you. But you can't serve today, you know. Do you understand? So he just suddenly told me, look, you know, you can't be standing here to serve at this point. The idea is you're free to do what you want, but if in a certain position, there's responsibility that is expected of you. But he
You
didn't
see how
say
he
it in a
spoke it to
way
you?
that made
If
me
he had
feel
said
like
what
I'm
are
a
you wearing?
sinner
What's
coming
God-
from hell.
Listen, for me, bullying should be something that follows a pattern and is consistent. Was this a one-off, or is it something she does
yes,
every time she
good.
sees this girl?
Good.
That's another
If
thing.
it was a one-off,
because
it could
there are
be
days
good.
you roll out of bed on the wrong side.
Beautiful.
And someone else should
everybody
take
is-
the...
No, no, it
we
happens.
all have that day. We all have that day. Let's not become saints.
We all do.
We all have that
all
day
do.
when you wake up and you snap at
Yeah, we all do.
your driver, snap at the gate man, snap at the first person you.
I
There's
don't think
something
that's
wrong.
how-
Or you
that
just
day.
ignore them.
Or you ignore them, or you cold.
I mean, it happens to
Yeah.
me, and to a point, I ask myself, what's the problem? All these people who are doing this to contributed nothing to yourself. Go back. And I'll come back to myself and I ask myself, how did I get here? And as a policy, I try to get feedback. When I work with people, I try to get feedback. When I think I'm on the extreme, I always call one or two to say, how have I been? In my office, I always ask HR, if I have new staff, please, after a while, speak to them to know if I've been a good leader to them, if I've been a good manager. Because sometimes you don't even know when you are bullying.
True. Yeah.
So it's
True.
always good to have people who would come to you and
Like
tell
a
you
do
the
your
truth.
appraisal for
Yes,
you.
because sometimes your staff may not be able to speak to you. 2 weeks ago, I called one of my staff who just got transferred, and I asked her, please, since you came back, how have I been? What have you seen about me? And I said, please, in this matter now, we're not discussing office. It's you telling me the truth. And she told me some certain things. I was like, really? Is that how bad I have gone? And we just amended. She just said to me, no worry, when next you do it, we will let you know. You understand? And it helps me put me on check. But there are some guards, some supervisors that wouldn't want you to speak to them no matter how. And those ones are the ones we call bully. Because the fact that you make one mistake or the other does not make you a bully. No.
It's when it's consistent.
No. There are people like, if you even on the social media, you see people, and once you're on their matter, you won't even drop your word, and they're abusing you with everything. Bullying is not only in the office place. You have people on the social media bullying people. People go on air.
cyberbullying
People go
is
to
one
radio
of the-
stations.
Cyberbullying is so rampant.
It's so another level now.
It's so
Especially
frustrating.
because of the anonymity that social media provides.
I had the same issue yesterday. A blog put up, apparently they're trying to do this Northern Youth Summit where we get all the youth together and try to create like a workshop and job opportunities for the youth. So everybody that was, because it's a Northern blog, everybody that was coming up to be an ambassador for their state was a Muslim. So the owner of the blog said, the North does not just belong to the Muslims. Please, can I have some Christian candidates? Somebody now said, ha 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 ha, joke of the year. That is, normally I just read and I just move past. That didn't sit well with me. So I went under her comments and I said, you know, sometimes it's okay to hide your ignorance. Not every day is a day to be ignorant.
That's bullying.
That's vintage.
No, that
now.
wasn't bullying.
That wasn't bullying.
It's just saying
that was
the
speaking.
That was
facts.
nodding out. That's it. Because you're ignorant does not mean you should publicize it to the world and to calm down. Somebody now came under my comment and said that I was the one that was being ignorant. Do I know how many Muslims have been killed in Taraba, in Plateau, in Benue? I said, what does that have to do
Change the
with
dynamics
anything?
of the conversation.
This has nothing to do with anything. The North does not belong to the Muslims. The North belongs to Nigeria. Nigeria belongs to all. Then the person goes, go and tell Biafra that. I said, well, when you find the leader of Biafra, please tell him I'm looking for him. I would like to have a conversation with him. And it went into this full-blown war of, like, insulting me. And I felt a bit bullied. I said, madam, please come. I said, go and ask about me. You will never have the last word. I promise you. You will never have the last. And by the time I am done with you, you will regret that you ever logged onto this Instagram. Because I am the queen of comeback and the queen of clapback, and I am more disrespectful than the word disrespect. So I suggest, as you are fasting, because I am assuming you are fasting, you take your little 2 legs, go into the kitchen and go and cook for your husband, because I'm sure you'll be hungry. Okay. And I left the story at that. I now sent a message to the owner of the blog. I said, I think if I were you, I would block this kind of person, because you don't need this person on your platform that would not acknowledge other religions. You're in Nigeria. We are full of not just Christian and Muslims. There are so many other religions in Nigeria. And for you to feel like somebody else should not come out and participate in something that belongs to the youth, you're saying, the Christians killed it. Did the Muslims not kill this and that? Everybody gets killed. Don't come here and bully everybody into feeling like they should be.
Everyone has to believe what you believe and just align.
No, Richard, you just got it. We need to send a message across to listeners also that you stand a different, or that you believe in something different from the way I believe. It does not mean that you are wrong and I'm right, and I'm wrong, you're right. People should learn to acknowledge every other person's view. Most times, you see that the cause of the social media bullying is because you are speaking from a particular point, and I think I'm speaking from a particular point. And without me trying to know why you stand to represent what you're speaking for, I start attacking you. And it's so common when it has to do with religion, it has to do with tribe, when it has to do with ethnicity, when it has to do with, what again?
Gender.
You see, gender. You see, and again, what's this one? Men beating women, women beating men.
Domestic violence.
Domestic violence. And you see that camp is forming. People are forming camp is forming, and you see people trying to ride on other people's back to shine and do all that, all that. The most important thing is tolerating oneself and tolerating others around you would help in this bullying thing to stop.
Okay.
Even in schools.
No, I'm laughing because of something that happened this morning in a WhatsApp group I joined not quite 4 or 5 days. Now for some reason they're very draconian. I don't know why. Maybe they're new to how WhatsApp works or what.
Is this like a women's group?
Yeah, it's a women's group. It's a political group. And I got kicked off at one point because I put up a good morning post and a happy new month post. I got kicked out of the group. That was irrelevant. I said, okay. After a while, they brought me back. Now, yesterday night, somebody put up a video. I didn't even watch the video, but I just saw the opening clip was a train. I didn't know how that ties in with what we're talking about in the group, but I figured I'm not an admin. It's not for me to say anything about this. So I didn't even watch the video. Apparently, whoever it was that posted that video received a call from the person who founded the WhatsApp group. Words were exchanged, and the person who posted the video got called a nuisance. This thing escalated to death threats. I am going to track you down and deal with you. I am not playing.
You know why I asked you, is this a woman's group? Because you see, we women, we get plenty frustration. So when you enter this women group, you have to leave your heart and your soul outside of the group.
Put it in the fridge.
Put it in the freezer every seat.
I don't agree.
See, a lot of these women group are with married women. And sadly to say, a lot of married women are unhappily married.
I don't agree.
I said most. I didn't
agree.
say all.
I
said
don't
most.
agree.
I have said most. And
Sorry,
calm
sorry,
It's
down.
not about the married women.
It's not about the married
It's
women.
about the women thinking you're in general. It's
we
not
are
about married.
frustrated.
No, I
We
refuse.
are
I don't
frustrated.
agree, Zainab. I don't agree.
Sorry.
I don't agree.
Sorry, I had this same experience. My classmates, my secondary school mates, we had rules and regulation on the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
And you know this kind of message that post this kind of religious message that say post this to your so and so number.
And send to this.
And I just told them, can you stop posting this here? And that was in the night. By the time I woke up in the morning, I seen message. People called me Antichrist. People called me devil. People said this. People said that.
Here's
On
what,
the group.
when it comes to things like that, it's about setting ground rules. I belong to a feminist WhatsApp group.
Are you a feminist?
I am, no ifs, no buts.
Oh, God.
There are rules and regulations that should guide every group that people belong to. When you add a new person, post that rule again.
Yes.
So they know. In that group, for instance, you cannot post good morning and happy new month. Except maybe you were off a comment. You were saying something, and at the end you just say, oh, good morning, everybody. It is not, we know it's morning, we know it's a new month, we know it's a new week. It's good
So
if
it's
it's
your
acceptable
family.
in another group, fine. But so you don't clog people's phone with unnecessary messages. This is pretty much the focus of this group. So it's for you to understand it and abide by the rules and
I've actually
regulations
had
of that.
Yeah,
same
but-
group chats,
but it's just that
chats.
perhaps you were not given.
Is it that the minute that happens, then you get kicked off?
No.
the group?
You
And
don't
that's where the
this is
problem
not allowed here.
That's where the problem lies.
That was
you
all
don't
I
do
said.
that.
That's all I said.
You don't do
I
that.
said, please stop.
Okay.
I was called Antichrist.
You
Why we
won.
bully ourselves out of the topic?
You give a warning.
Let's see how possible it is to actually find solution to this issue of bullying.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take his pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start up the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh, you know.
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys. They're not ready to marry.
Yes. If she wants to ask something, no, I know my mother very well. In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, you know, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture. There was a thing, I got tired of all that and I said,
And we see, with the report we saw earlier and what we've discussed so far, a lot of it, we take it for granted, really. The society takes things for granted. That's how it is. We just believe this is us. I mean, it's African now, it's a normal thing. What somebody saw, it's a man, that's how they are. It's a woman, that's how they are. We just accept it.
It's not
I have an
for
issue with
bullying, we have what we call the bystanders and we have what we call the upstanders. Those who would see you being bullied and
Oh, just
look away.
stand around and watch.
Those who will see you being bullied and do something. Now the question is, if you observe in your workplace, in school, wherever, that someone is being bullied, what do you do? Who do you choose to be? A bystander or an upstander? The decision is yours. But if you're the person who is being bullied, all right, then you can't be either a bystander or an upstander. So what do you do? How do you deal with it? You tell your parents. All right, you tell a counselor, you tell an adult, you have to report. And the last option is you have to stand up for yourself. All right?
Not be
That's the
violent,
last
but-
option. That's the last option.
So tell someone,
That
you
should be
have
the
to
first
report.
option.
Most times, people who are strong are bullying weaker people.
Yeah.
So standing up for yourself is not going to be your immediate reaction.
Yeah.
So you have to tell somebody, and I understand that even telling somebody takes some time. You know, some people try to
manage the
manage
situation,
the situation,
first.
but you are becoming psychologically thinking of a victim that you will bully when you become better. So you have to speak out. So you have to tell a counselor, you have to tell an adult, you have to tell your parents, or if in workplace you have to tell maybe your colleague, you know, you have to tell somebody, you have to discuss with somebody, and then you speak up for yourself, stand up for yourself, because you'll be shocked. A bully may stop bullying you the moment
A third
you
person
speak up
comes
for
in,
yourself.
yes.
Yeah.
All right. Let's say in school you keep taking my stuffs, you keep kicking me around, and then one
That's
day you
common.
just and I kick
Senior
you
and
too.
junior thing.
Story has ended. Then the person is shocked, like, okay, I didn't see this one coming, because you know some people become excited when I bully you and you're always reacting in a certain way.
Yes.
I'm excited.
There's
So when
fulfillment.
I get a different reaction, now I am shocked because I don't know what you're going to do next.
So
All
generally,
right?
we need to train children to be able to speak up for themselves.
Yes. And
Whether
to be
it's
able
That's
to
why
school
I was waiting
yes.
for her to finish to say, you know, that's the end result. I feel as soon as your kids are old enough to mingle with other kids or go to school, you need to have these lectures with them, these conversations. You're going out into the universe. You're going to meet people that are stronger than you, people that are weaker than you, people that are smarter than you, people that are less smarter than you, and you need to know how to deal with any and everything that comes around you. If somebody bullies you, please come to me. Speak to me, speak to your dad, speak to your sister, your brother, whoever. Also, don't be a bully. Don't do to others what you wouldn't want others to do to you. If you don't want somebody to slap you, don't go around pushing somebody. If you don't want somebody to take your stuff, don't go around touching somebody else's stuff. Spread love. I always tell people, I have this funny saying, spread love, it's the right thing to do. Spread love. Even when, sometimes I don't listen to my own preaching, but even when, you know, you have all this negativity and hate coming towards you, take a moment, step out of that situation, and get yourself together. Instead of spitting back hate and negativity, spit back love. Because you don't know what that person is going through. Maybe that person has this built-up anger and they don't have this love from their parents. They can't remember the last time their parents said, I love you, or hugged them, or done anything nice to them. So you coming to spit back that flame and fire and anger might lead them into the deep path.
A different reaction.
That's probably what's going to lead them into thinking they should kill themselves. So for me, I feel sit down with your kids, your siblings, your friends, and
Even your staff, yeah?
even your staff, and
yeah.
be the ray of sunshine. Be that positive light. Speak positivity into the world. What you speak out is what you get back. What you put into the universe, I've tried this so many times. What you put out into the universe is what you get back. If you go around saying, I hate you, I hate myself, you would get hate. But if you put love and positivity, you would be, I'm not saying negativity won't come to you, but it won't come in that full dose. You would get more positivity than you would get negativity. Even on Instagram, I try to put out positive messages and stuff. And a lot of people say, Zainab, what we expect people to say to you, they don't say to you. Why don't you get people talking about how you dress, or the fact that you don't always cover up, or the fact that you... I was like, because I put out positivity. Before you can tell me that I'm this kind of person, I've already told you I'm this kind of person. So you can't come and say, Zainab, you're ugly, when all day I'm saying that I'm beautiful. How do you want to come and say I'm ugly? I will spell to you that I'm the prettiest person your eyes has ever seen. And you can't come and tell me otherwise. So when you don't give somebody the leeway to be negative, they won't come towards you. Like I said earlier, I was never bullied in school. For a day in my life, as far back as I can remember, I was never bullied in school. Because I never gave anybody that opportunity to bully me. I come across as this fierce person, as this person that you can't break me. So how do you want to bully me? How do you want to do it?
How do you want to do that? Chukwuma, you work with a lot of people, and sometimes there is the missing link of organizations providing a cushion
Exactly.
for people who have emotional issues or maybe they are being bullied, whether it's home or at work. In some offices, there are, I don't know, there's a way they handle it that you can have somebody to talk to, a professional HR, but that doesn't happen everywhere.
Okay, we have what we call mentors.
Okay.
And you're always advised to speak to your mentors in case something is going out of place. You speak to your mentors, and your mentor could either meet your supervisor or whoever is bullying you, have one-on-one with the person. Where the person is not listening, could bring it to management. But what I usually tell people is, if you make yourself a trash bin, people will throw trash in you. I also tell people that whatever reaction you give based on what people tell you is how you are able to interpret it. Whatever you tell me, if you call me stupid, am I stupid? If I'm not stupid, I'm not stupid. So I try as much as possible to treat every matter like a raincoat on top of a cloth. When the rain finishes on the cloth, I remove the raincoat, my clothes is safe.
Wow.
You understand? So I'm not a trash bin. You can't throw trash in me. So no matter what you tell me.
I think that's an amazing place for us to say thank you to everyone for joining us on the show today. It's been an amazing conversation. Do you all agree?
Just that Z always tries to bully me.
And I'll keep bullying you.
Come on, it's still me.
Welcome to my world.
He likes it when I
Thank
bully
you
him,
for
though.
being a part of the conversation today. One thing we know for sure is you cannot be better by making anyone else feel inferior or less of a person. So show love, spread love, and speak up. Speak up. If you're being bullied, speak up. There's always help. Don't do anything to yourself that would make anyone around you regret, okay?
Exactly.
Thank you for being a part of the conversation. Keep the conversation going. My name is Rita, and Chukuma is here. We have Z, and of course, in your wrong, Ahmad, Divalicious. I love your hair. I said it at the beginning. I'm going to say it again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye.